Ever feel like, I don't know, you're just bombarded with business advice left and right,
Oh, yeah.
but it's like from people who've never actually built a successful business, you
Yeah,
know?
totally. Like they're selling you a course on how to get rich,
Yeah.
but haven't actually gotten rich themselves.
Exactly. It's so refreshing to dive into a book by someone who's actually walked the walk, someone who's been in the trenches.
For sure. Someone with real-world experience.
Which brings us to today's deep dive. Alex Hormozi and his book, $100 Leads. This isn't just some theoretical mumbo-jumbo. This is a blueprint.
Right. A blueprint for success.
Yeah, from someone who built a 9-figure empire using these exact strategies.
And what's interesting is he didn't just do it in one industry.
Oh, absolutely not. Software, e-commerce, even brick-and-mortar businesses. This isn't just for those online guru types.
No way.
Yeah.
And you can tell he practices what he preaches, even just from the way the book is structured.
How so?
Super direct, no nonsense. It's right to the point.
No fluff. I like it.
Short, sharp chapters.
Perfect for, well, people like us who actually have businesses to run, busy lives, right?
Exactly.
It's like a shot of espresso for your business.
That's a great way to put it. Get you going. No time wasted. And the core issue he tackles right off the bat is something I think everyone struggles with at some point.
Having enough customers.
Even more fundamental. Enough leads.
The lifeblood of any business. Without leads, you're dead in the water.
Exactly. And his solution isn't some crazy, complicated system either.
Is it as simple as get more leads?
Well, kinda.
Yeah.
But he breaks it down further. Get more leads, for sure,
Yeah.
but also get better leads.
Qualified leads.
Exactly. The ones who are actually likely to convert. And, of course, get those leads cheaper.
Who doesn't want cheaper leads?
Right. And then the final piece, get them reliably.
So your business isn't at the mercy of like one traffic source drying up or whatever.
Exactly. Predictable, consistent lead flow. That's the dream.
Music to my ears. So how do we do it? Where do we start?
Lead magnets.
Okay, so I gotta be honest. I've heard that term a million times. What makes Hormozi's approach to lead magnets different?
It's kind of like giving away free samples, right?
Yeah.
But he takes it to a whole new level.
Like giving away the whole darn store.
Practically. He calls it the give until they ask philosophy.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So instead of that, I don't know, cheap, barely valuable freebie that everyone offers.
Yeah, like that PDF with like 3 bullet points in it.
Exactly. He says give away something of real value, like actually valuable. Prove your expertise up front.
Makes you stand out, for sure. So people are thinking, if they're giving this away for free, imagine what their paid stuff is like.
Exactly. They almost feel obligated to pay for more because you've already given them so much.
Interesting. So it's kind of like reverse psychology. You're building that trust before you even ask for the sale.
And it plays on this powerful human instinct, reciprocity.
We like people who like us, kind of thing.
More like, we want to give back to those who have given to us. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Makes sense.
So by giving away all this value up front, you're not just attracting leads, you're positioning yourself as the go-to expert.
I like that. And because you've already proven yourself, people are coming to you, ready to buy.
Exactly. You've flipped the script. And Hormozi has a great example in his books.
Oh, you mean like how we're talking about his book right now?
Exactly. He gives them away for free.
No way. For real?
Completely free. Multiple formats,
Wow.
ebook, audiobook, everything.
Wow. Talk about putting your money where your mouth is.
Right. That's the ultimate demonstration of give until they ask.
So we're giving away valuable stuff, building that trust, showing that we're the expert. But then how do we actually get those leads in the first place?
Right. It's not like they just magically appear. Right.
Definitely not.
Luckily, Hormozi's got us covered there, too. He lays out what he calls the core 4.
Oh, I like a good framework. The core 4. What are we talking about here?
So these are, according to Hormozi, the only 4 ways to get the word out about your product, to let anyone know that you even exist.
Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with it. The core 4.
Number 1, warm outreach.
Okay, so leveraging your existing network, people you already know.
Exactly. Then there's posting content.
The content marketing game. So building an audience by providing value consistently.
You got it. Now for number 3, cold outreach.
Okay, getting a little more, I don't know, strategic with our outreach?
Yeah, strategically reaching out to potential customers who don't know you yet.
Got it. And finally, what's number 4?
Paid ads.
Classic. Cutting through the noise and getting right in front of your ideal customer.
Yep. No messing around.
So it's really interesting, right? He's basically taken like the entire universe of marketing.
Which can feel very overwhelming.
Exactly. And boiled it down to these 4 essential pillars.
And you don't even necessarily need to master all 4 at the same time.
Right. You find what works for you and your business. Double down on what's working.
He actually has a really interesting story about this, about focusing your energy where it matters most.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
So he talks about how, at first, he totally dismissed personal branding. He thought it was just a vanity metric.
Like, oh, look at me. I have 1 million followers, but...
Yeah, exactly. But then he saw what people like Kylie Jenner were doing, and he had a real aha moment.
But like, wait a minute. Maybe there's something to this whole personal branding thing.
Exactly. So he decides to invest in learning from the best. Right.
Oh, I love it when successful people invest in mentorship. Who do you go to?
He actually paid, get this, $120,000
$120,000
for advice.
for advice from this top influencer.
Wow, that's serious commitment. So what was this like $1 million piece of advice?
You're gonna laugh. Hit me with it.
Do more.
Do more. That's it.
Yep. That was the big secret. Do more.
I mean, I guess it's simple, right? Not easy, but simple.
It's so easy to overcomplicate things, though. We're always looking for that magic bullet.
But sometimes the answer is right in front of us. Just keep showing up. Put in the work.
Exactly. And that applies especially to content creation. He's very big on that. He actually recommends focusing on content over how-to content.
Interesting. So sharing your personal experience, your journey.
Exactly. Your struggles, your wins, that's what people connect with, the authenticity of it.
Because it's one thing to tell people, here's how to do X, right? But then it's like, well, who are you?
But when you share your own story, it's like, look, I was in your shoes, I faced these challenges, and here's how I overcame them.
It's so much more relatable. You're building trust by being vulnerable.
Exactly. And speaking of building, when it comes to growing an audience, he uses this really cool analogy, puddles to oceans.
Puddles to oceans. I kind of like that. What does that even mean?
So instead of trying to, go viral on day one and be everything to everyone.
Which never works, by the way.
Exactly. He says, start by dominating a niche.
Find your people.
Exactly. A smaller pond where you can really gain traction and establish yourself as the go-to expert.
It's less intimidating than trying to boil the ocean, right?
Sure. Conquer your puddle. Then you can start thinking about expanding.
So find your niche, become the dominant force in that space, then broaden your reach.
Exactly. Strategic growth.
Okay, so we've got our puddle, we're putting in the work, we're seeing some success, but how do we scale this whole thing,
It's a good problem to have.
It is, but it's still a problem.
Yeah.
Because, how do you go from being, a one-man show to building a real team?
Right, because you can't do everything yourself forever.
And honestly, that shift, going from solopreneur to, actual CEO, that's where a lot of us get stuck.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to mindset. And Hormozi talks about this shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset.
Okay, so explain that. What does that even mean in this context? Scarcity versus abundance.
So scarcity is that feeling that there's not enough to go around, right? Like if someone else is successful, it means there's less success available for me.
Yeah, like you're threatened by other people's success.
Exactly. And in the context of building a team, that can show up as like a fear of hiring people who are better than you.
Oh, because then they'll take over your job or whatever.
Right, exactly. But abundance is the opposite. It's that belief that there's plenty of success to go around and that by helping other people succeed.
You actually create more success for yourself.
Exactly. And in the context of building a team, that means wanting to empower your employees to be even better than you are.
Instead of seeing them as a threat, you see them as an asset.
Precisely. And that's how you build a truly great company.
So how do we actually do that? How do we go from I'm afraid to hire someone better than me to I want to empower my team?
Well, Hormozi talks a lot about the importance of training.
Makes sense. If you want people to do things the way you want them done, you got to show them how.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he breaks it down into this really simple framework, the 3 Ds of training.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Hit me with it. What are the 3 Ds?
Number 1, document. You got to document the process, make it crystal clear.
So checklists, standard operating procedures, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Then number 2, demonstrate.
So you're not just handing them a manual and saying, figure it out. You're actually showing them how it's done.
Right. And then number 3, the most important part, duplicate. Have them do it in front of you, give them feedback, and make sure they can replicate the process.
So it's about building systems,
Right.
creating a machine that can run smoothly, even if you're not the one pushing the buttons every time.
Exactly. And speaking of machines, let's talk about agencies.
Ooh, agencies. That can be a whole other can of worms.
It can. Because so many entrepreneurs, they see agencies as this necessary evil.
Like, I need help, but I don't trust anyone to do it as well as I can.
Yep. But Hormozi has this really interesting perspective on it. He calls agencies a shortcut to learning.
A shortcut to learning. I like that. So it's not just about outsourcing a problem, it's about acquiring knowledge.
Exactly. So you're hiring them not just to do the work, but to learn their methods, their systems, their processes. And then once you've absorbed that knowledge, you can bring it in-house.
So it's like you're paying for an education and getting the work done at the same time.
Exactly. You're investing in your team's skill set.
That's a smart way to look at it. And then, of course, for the ultimate leverage play, affiliates.
Ah, yes. The beauty of having other people sell your stuff for you.
It's like building an army of lead-generating ninjas.
Right. They're out there spreading the word, reaching audiences you might not have access to otherwise.
And the best part is, you only pay them when they make a sale. It's a win-win.
Exactly. But the key here is alignment.
You got to make sure that their audience actually aligns with your target market.
Exactly. There's no point in partnering with someone who's got a massive following, but it's the wrong audience.
Right, like if you're selling high-end skincare products, you probably don't want to partner with someone who reviews, like, budget-friendly makeup.
Exactly. Hormozi gives a great example in the book. His supplement company partnered with this platform for gym owners.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. They're already targeting people who are interested in fitness and health.
Exactly. Match made in heaven.
Okay, so we've got our offer, we're building a team, we're exploring partnerships. How do we make sure it all comes together? How do we, like, keep this momentum going?
Well, Hormozi talks about this too. He calls it the more, better, new cycle.
More, better, new. It sounds promising. What's that all about?
It's all about sustainable growth. So step one is more. You
Yeah.
got to do more of what's already working.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah.
Exactly. If a particular lead generation strategies bring you results, double down on it.
Don't get distracted by the next shiny object. I like it.
Then, once you've maximized that, you move on to better.
So optimizing, refining, making it even more effective.
Exactly. Tweak your approach, test different variables, and just keep getting better at what you're doing.
Okay, so we've done more, we've done better. What's new?
So only then, once you've truly squeezed every last drop out of your existing methods, do you start exploring something new.
So you're not constantly chasing the latest marketing trends. You're focused on mastering the fundamentals.
Exactly. And that's how you create lasting success.
I like that. So as we wrap up our deep dive into $100 move leads, I think the biggest takeaway here is that building a successful business isn't about some magic formula or overnight success. It's about mastering these fundamentals
It's about building systems, putting in the work, and being patient.
and focusing on the long game.
Exactly. Because real success, it doesn't happen overnight. It's about those small, consistent actions, day after day, that compound over time.
It's about showing up even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it.
Because the truth is, anyone can achieve incredible things if they just commit to the process and never give up.
So find your puddle, build your core four, and remember, more, better, new.
And who knows, maybe one day you'll be writing the book on how you built your $100 million business.
That's a wrap on this deep dive. See you next time.